We pulled King Energy. Light attributes, enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. Shadow attribute, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. Okay, so clearly we want our king. We want the one who has authority to not abuse it. Duh. When we have free will, it's like we have to. Never mind. Let me just get some cards. What I was gonna say is, this is just. I'm trying to be very neutral, but freedom of choice is I decided not to have children. And so I live a different lifestyle than somebody with children, clearly. And so when you have a king or a authority figure, president, who has to make rules and regulations for the world that populates itself, it doesn't make it wrong that there has to be, this is not a very good example, it doesn't have to make it wrong that there's certain regulations done that benefit families that won't benefit single people. I really truly don't have anything specifically in mind. I'm just trying to give an example of how we can't fault the rules and regulations sometimes because people choose to live differently, and we have, so that really doesn't have anything to do with, I don't know. Let's just get some tarot. It's exhausting to try to see both sides of the spectrum and then to see both sides of the spectrum within different dynamics of the different choices people make. It's just like, how would a world, how would a, it's like, it's like a whole different world of people without children. This seriously is not a very good example because I'm not really attaching to anything that I'm just using a random example of how people can have the free will to live differently, and that we have to be open-minded or flexible with allowing both sides of people's choices to hopefully thrive in their own lives. Okay, so I think I might mention, since we pulled the King card, I'm getting political figures and clearly God and Jesus, and then the different countries also have different rulers, and so it's like um we have free will. However, when we abuse somebody to gain our own gaining, that's where it crosses the line, and that's a no-no. So we all have free will. And if I were king or queen or God or Jesus or his wife or whatever, if I had a position of authority, uh, I wouldn't. It's like I'm not. Fuck. since I don't have kids, I wouldn't be the best candidate, right? But like the reason why I don't have kids is because, well, why do people have children? I'm sorry, this is getting totally off topic, but like I don't know where the readings ever are gonna go. Um, let's just talk about it. The kids, um, they are our future. And so if we don't have kids, then we go extinct, right? And so it's not like I choose extinction for humanity. That's not even, never even thought of it like that. Well, I have. Um, and matter of fact, I did a character analysis according to some human condition system that defines characters. One of my character definitions was, or something that described a part of my personality was, I'm really good at connecting with people out of fear of human extinction. Which is a whole nother um, conversation. But first of all, I mean, there's so many reasons why people might have children. My parents, they didn't. When I asked them, they were like, "Oh, I don't know. That's just what we do." Like, what? It's just blind reproduction? Which, yes, that's how it works. It's the number one programming to just reproduce. Like, I don't know, we just like to do it. That is too sleepy for me. And so, why else do we have children? To, um, to have muscle within the survival system of family. We back each other up. And then they can take care of you when you're old. And so it's a survival thing. So if you don't need children to survive, um if I were to have a, okay, and then you also need a mate. Like, duh. So to find a match, which I was told by a supernatural deity, whether or not I believe him, by the way, he said I do not have a match, which I tended to believe him because I don't feel like anybody could match my, I don't know. I feel like even myself, I can't even match myself in in the nature of reproducing. I don't resonate with that because my consciousness is just too far out there. So it's like, how bizarre. I can't even resonate with some of the human condition of myself. Um, okay, so, but let's say I found a match. And we were able to have the choice of having kids. It's like, just because you have a match doesn't mean you have to have kids. Okay, but like, let's say I have a match and we can discuss having children. Why have a child still? Why? Um, and it would be because children have unbiased, untainted, unscarred, they have this perspective that is so vital to the innocence. So, but then just go connect with another child and go to daycare if that's what you're trying to do. Connect with the children, just go to a different child. And so I can't just, but then, I'm 42. I don't know, menopause is probably around 50. And I fuck. I may or may not believe, it doesn't matter if I believe it. I understand it's a possibility that the government clones or breeds or farms humans. Mining for stars, I don't know exactly why. Or if it's, I know. So what's the message? It's like the authorities, let's see, the king, enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. And it doesn't, I don't know how I got, it doesn't quite connect with excuse me. I don't know. It's like you have to have people to rule if you're going to be a ruler. And I don't know how this is connecting to this king here. So I guess let me just say that when I decided not to have kids, or that, with the extinction of the humans and the decision making, I think I came to the conclusion that the other people or systems are going to have babies. And so I don't need to. And then, I was introduced to natural selection. And when I had the experience with the beam shooting out my head, connecting to all the stars, and the one who was able, the supernatural being that knew about this event, said it was a warning to the government. And the warning of, the only thing I can think of is like they had to confront the fact that that darkness is not the ruler, and that the light has not been snuffed out by the dark. Like, warning. It's like, if that's what it is, I don't know. And so, okay, so the king, the rulers, I think there's going to be a shift in reality here, because they had to acknowledge something about manipulating the bloodlines and the rulers. It doesn't work in the way that they, I don't know, they're I don't know. It's like God and the universe and the magic of conscious evolution is not determined by what I mean, dark people, the Dark Lords, many of them are so smart, and it's so smart that they rule worlds without restraint, rulership without restraint, until they are restrained by perhaps their own mental prison, being confronted by, I don't know if like the angels or I like to call them the babes, are doing some work, and they're all shaken. And so I don't really appreciate that we have to go through so much darkness, um you know, and go through lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes before you get justice. I feel like justice should be served more immediate than having to wait lifetimes for the babes to rise. Like, but then there's the free will, and usually we have the choice to be controlled or not to be. What's the message? I think a lot of us have given away the power, which in the Dark Lord's eyes, they're like, well, thank you. And so it you know, there's a difference between there's a way to fight. You can talk back and try to manipulate the situation, or you can just go do you, elevate and progress and create your own reality outside of their, like, we have free will. And so, like, what am I gonna do with my life if I'm not gonna have children and I don't agree with leaders that I don't know, somebody's gotta lead, right? But so I'm just gonna try to lead the babes to not be blindly led by leaders that are counting on you just being blind, but and if you have children, that's beautiful. Like, I have no offense to anybody doing anything. But you guys are my babes, and so the pocket of consciousness the innocent babes tap into, or that are consumed by, is the pocket of energy that I want to create our lives with. The energy that we are never going to be without. It is a matter of free will and choice, and you can, well, I hope to create something someday, so I'm not just speaking, but I actually have evidence of like what I did with my life. So I can't really speak yet because I haven't done much, or had an impact with the babes in a movement of the babes. I sound crazy, and I'm sick of sounding crazy. But I'll go even more crazy if I don't discuss these things that have happened to me and really discern what in the fudge sickle pop happened and why. So, I don't know. I guess that's what I have for you guys. Let's just get one more. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. We have flow. Well, that feels perfect. Just being in the flow. You don't have to be in control or the one being controlled. Just like the innocent babes always rolling their eyes at the adults with their drama. Like, just roll your eyes at the adults and their drama, and let's create a new. It's not even new. It's just outside of the negative narratives lies the positive ones. So make sure to create your own narrative with truth and innocence, duh. And so we can change the world. There it is. So I hope that helped. I love you guys so much. Until next time.